I thought he deserved that fight at the night bonus. I wanted to talk to the prospect who we had not seen in almost 2 years about his big win, his big homecoming. Of course, he was supposed to fight back in March. That fight got pulled at the 11th hour. He's joining us right now via the magic of Zoom. There he is. Nathaniel, my friend, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Ariel. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. It's nice to talk to you again, and congratulations on the win. I mean, it was a big deal for you to come back. You're fighting a veteran like Charles Rosa, new weight class in London. It didn't work out for you in March. A couple days removed. I would imagine you're on a high. You're in good spirits. You're feeling very good about what you did on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm buzzing, mate. I'm buzzing to be back, and I'm obviously very happy that I've got to move up to a weight class which I believe that I should be in, and I've got to show people that that's where I belong. I had a lot of doubters in there saying I'm too small. You shouldn't go up a weight. These guys are going to be too heavy, too big, and all I thought was I'm going to be too quick. So I'm happy that I got the performance, and gutted that I didn't get a fight the night bonus. I thought we did it, and I felt like Charles deserved it as well, man. He took one hell of a beating, and man, I couldn't put him out there. So credit to him for that.
Ultimately, why did you decide to make the move to 45?
If I'm honest, mate, it's just as the years have been going, I'm just getting bigger and bigger. And where I've been out for almost 2 years now, my muscles have had a chance to grow. I haven't been depleting them and, doing serious weight cuts, and I've just got bigger. And it's always been one of those things that I've always thought in the back of my head, why do I need to keep cutting to 135 when I handle myself very well in the gym against 145ers? Even 155ers I handle myself well against. So I thought to myself, if I go up a weight, it means less serious weight cuts where I haven't got to, damage my health in the long run. And I'm going to have the speed advantage. In the gym, there's a lot of guys that I struggle with who are flyweights. So the reason why sometimes I struggle with them is because they outspeed me. But I know that if I go up a weight class, yes, they have the weight advantage, but they don't have the speed advantage. So, I'm trying to find that balance, and mate, I felt great in there. I felt like I was in the Matrix. I could see shots coming a mile off, and yeah, I'd like to think that the performance speaks for itself. And I feel healthy and happy as well. I'm not having to cut serious amounts.
Yeah.
So, for definite, I think that's where I'm going to stay for now anyway.
So like on Tuesday, how much did you weigh?
On Tuesday, let me think. I was probably 8 pounds out.
Wow.
So I walked back in the fight 10 pounds heavier. I think Charles said he was like 20 pounds heavier.
Wow. And you didn't feel like there was a big, I mean, obviously the results speak for themselves, but there wasn't a moment there where you're like, wow, this is a different ball game here. I'm dealing with bigger guys.
No, honestly, mate, no. There was that doubt in the back of my head going in, thinking, this guy could just, maybe completely outmuscle me. But then I just kept saying to myself, I'm used to it in the gym. I've got very high level 145ers in the gym that I handle myself with absolutely fine. A couple of kilos to me shouldn't make much of a difference if you trust in your skill set. But yeah, obviously if someone was to beat me, I would say, look, you were the better man that night. I'm not going to be sitting there, blaming it on a couple of pounds.
Well, could you take us back to March and how you felt seeing that whole party go down and you couldn't take part in it? I mean, I can't imagine. You were probably gutted. You're the Londoner. You're from London. You're there. You're the London guy. They always supported you back in the Cage Warriors days, and you couldn't take part, and it was no fault of your own. What was that like?
Honestly, mate, heartbreaking. It was up and downs. Obviously, my original opponent, he had to pull out because of the war, of course, which was going on in Ukraine. So I was sitting there, thinking, am I even going to get someone on, 2 weeks' notice, I think it was. Got someone, got the buzz back on. We was like, yep, we're ready. We got a fight, a good opponent as well, someone perfectly matched up for me. And then 2 days before the fight, he pulls out. Then there was kind of like, look, can we get someone last minute? Is there someone that has got medicals and can just turn up, make weight, let's fight? And I even said, look, I'll go up a weight, it's not a problem. And just nothing came through, mate. And if I'm honest, I was like, I didn't know what to do. At that moment, I was like, I'm done with this sport, man. I'm going to go and become a postman or something. But
really, you felt that?
Yeah, man. It was all just in the emotion.
Sure.
I was in like bits, It helped that Dana still paid me. He came up to me and I spoke to him and he still paid me my fight. So that was a big lifted my spirits, because I was sitting there thinking I'm going to walk away with nothing after all that time and effort that I put in. And man, that was probably the fittest, the sharpest, the lightest I've ever walked in. And for it to fall through obviously was heartbreaking, but who was to know that they would be coming back 4 months later?
Right.
So yeah, as they say, everything happens for a reason. And I just believe that the man up in the sky was looking out on me.
And that's a good point, and I'm happy that you mentioned it. So they paid you for that, even though you didn't fight. Was it the full amount of money, the show money, the show and win? What was it?
He gave me everything, mate. Dana said,
That's great.
I spoke to him personally. I saw him backstage, and I just said, mate, I'm gutted, And he said, like, don't worry, buddy. Like, we'll sort you out. He said, what are you on? I told him. He said, we'll pay you everything. So, he looked after me. So,
That's great. That's great. I'm happy.
Very grateful.
And so you were there, and so you actually like felt the crowd. You were there, and I don't know. Did that make you feel better or make you feel worse? It probably made you feel worse, right?
Matt, again, it mixed emotions. 1 minute I'm sitting there like buzzing that I'm at this amazing arena, watching people like Arnold Allen, he's a friend of mine, smash it. And then, the kind of realization that, man, I should be in there, and this is my hometown. It was bittersweet. It was a very weird feeling. And also, when I had so much adrenaline built up, and obviously I'd already been out for a year and a half, that because I didn't get that release, I was like, man, I need to go and do a skydive or do something, because I had that big ball of energy just built up and I didn't get to release it. And that's a weird feeling. It really is, it's odd. But yeah, I got to release it on Saturday night.
Did you do anything in March to release it?
No, I had to just suck it up and get on with it. Yeah, it was a tough feeling. I was just straight back in the gym, and working on for the next one.
So it's a great time for UK MMA. You mentioned Arnold Allen. We have Leon Edwards fighting for the belt. Tom Aspinall, obviously, a heartbreaking finish on Saturday, had a great win back in March. Paddy, Molly doing incredible things. Muhammad Mokaev, we just had him on a few minutes ago. And he was saying, and he also said this a little bit at the post-fight press conference, that people like you, people like Leon, people like Arnold, people like Tom are who he wants the youth in the UK to look up to. And he doesn't like Paddy because he feels like he promotes acting kind of like a fool and whatnot. Do you share that sentiment that Mohammed is expressing?
I can understand where he's coming from. I do think, hey, what about us guys? There is that kind of feeling we're being a little bit left out there. To me, it's a little bit, Paddy and Molly show at the moment. But at the same point, I'm like, I understand why. They're a huge draw. They're bringing in so many views, but, we still got space for us, man. We need to build up as well. And, I'd like to think my performance was better than theirs. And, I feel like I need a bit more credit where credit is due, man. So, but, mate, I wish them all the best. There's no animosity or anything from me. I know Mokaev's got a little bit of a beef with Paddy, but yeah, me, I'm just doing my thing. And I believe that the cream always rises to the top.
Do you want to see more from the UFC? Like, do you feel like the UFC should push you guys more? Because, their social channel, they're very entertaining, right? People love to listen to them, watch them and whatnot. But do you feel like in the build up to the event that you should have been pushed more, that some of the other British fighters should have been pushed more?
I think so as well. Being with it, the only Londoner on the UFC roster, is my town. I felt like maybe I could have had a bit more, and the more media time we get, the more we can show our personalities. So the amount they get, of course, they've got so much good content coming out, and but no one really gets to see our side unless the cameras are on us. So I didn't even get a post-fight speech, man. I was pissed about that. I had some names to call out, and but. Yeah, mate, I am very grateful for the position that I am in. So yeah, I don't want to sound like I'm being bitter. Or
No. I asked you the questions just so people know. I know people cut these things up, but they have to remember that we're asking you. You're not just bringing this up. I felt really bad for you because I thought the performance was great. Those moments on the microphone, like those are moments that sometimes you go from here to there. The crowd goes crazy. They shower you with praise. You call someone out. And you didn't get that. And it was no fault of your own. I think they booked too many fights on the prelims and they ran out of time. And unfortunately, a lot of them went the distance. What would you have said had you, been given the microphone from Michael Bisping?
I wanted to say I'm back. Obviously it's been few years, and man, it's been killing me. You know, it really has. And I felt like at one point I was just never going to get back in there. And then to have it in my home crowd, you know, to be back in London in the O2 where I had experienced in 2019, you know, I just wanted to thank the crowd, thank everyone, because that crowd was unbelievable. You know, I honestly felt their energy when I was in there, and it felt like I was in there with an army. So yeah, you know, it was very, very special. I want to just thank everyone. My team, of course, you know, it's always nice to give your team a little shout out. And yeah, just showing appreciation, really. But yeah, you know, a lot of the fights went to decision, so I understand that, you know, TV and stuff, they got to, you know, get it all on board. But, you know, next time.
Who did you want to call out?
Vince Morales keeps talking shit. I heard him say that he wants to smack my face still or something like that. And but he won't do it at 145. Even though he used to fight at 145, and I've just said that I walked in the fight 10 pounds heavier, you know, I think he either needs to shush or come up to 145 and let's just put our money where our mouths are.
Where's he talking shit? On social media?
No, so one of my friends sent me like an interview he was doing with someone. I don't know who the guy was, and he said something, I still want to smack that boy's face or something like that.
Okay.
I said, hey man, it's here. Come and get it. You know, we can get it on. All you got to do is come up a weight. If you don't want to, that's fine. But stop mentioning my name.
Fair enough. What about someone who's at 45 if he doesn't want to come up?
To be honest, mate, I'd like I know I'm not going to get a top 15. Well, I don't think I would anyway. I like someone like a legend, you know, someone like Cub Swanson. If he's still in the game, I don't know yet. Kind of on now, but someone who's like a bit of a legend. You know, I used to watch him in the WEC days, and that'd be cool. You know, someone like that would be a real honor to fight. But yeah, whoever the UFC give me, mate, I'll never turn anyone down. So yeah, I have no idea. I've even got to catch up with the 145 division. I've been too much focusing on 135 the last few years, and I'm not too sure what the rankings are saying. But yeah, anyone they give me, man, I'll be in there and ready to show the world what I'm capable of.
And by the way, you mentioned you hadn't fought since October of 2020. I know you were supposed to fight on the September card as well. That was kind of like the makeshift London card. And then, of course, the March one. Why were you out? Like, was it injuries? What kept you away for so long, other than what happened in March?
So the last fight with Casey Kenny, I tore the ligament and pushed the tendon off the bone on my little finger here.
Oh, no.
So that was the one that's causing me the main issues, and it's actually causing me issues now still.
Oh.
And then on the September one, I broke the metacarpal, which is here, same hand, but a different injury. And then obviously the last London one wasn't nothing to do with me. So yeah, just punching too hard, I think, mate. I need to wind it down a little bit.
And have you been able to check it out? I know it was just 2 days ago, but did you re-injure it on Saturday?
So I have re-injured it, but I don't think it's anything too serious at the moment. You know, touch wood, it doesn't feel anything like it was in the past. But I do think I'll be getting an MRI or X-ray or something to just, you know, make sure it's good to go.
Okay.
But yeah, it was hurting after the fight.
Is fighting again this year, I'm sure, is something you want, right? You think it's doable?
100%. Yeah, and again, that's why I'm going up 145. You know, I want to fight 4 or 5 times a year if I can, and making 135, you know, I need like 3 months notice. And, you know, obviously I'm not a huge fish in this pond at the moment. So I'm not the type of guy to get, you know, months and months notice to make weight and fight. So, you know, for me to accept fight on 8 weeks notice, I need to move up. So that's what I'm doing. And, you know, there's an Abu Dhabi card in 10 weeks, 12 weeks. Amazing card. You know, I'd love to get on that and get some sun to my body while I'm there.
I was going to suggest New York. I feel like, you know, a Brit fighting at MSG is a big deal, but you'd prefer the Abu Dhabi one?
Yeah, mate. If I can get some, you know, Abu Dhabi sun. And where I've been there twice before on Fight Island, there was no crowd. So it just feels a bit weird. You know, I feel like I need to go out there and do it properly. So yeah, that's one on the list. If not, yeah, wherever. You know, at the end of the day, I'm here to do a job, and, you know, it doesn't matter what country I'm in, you know, as long as I'm in the UFC octagon, that's where I'm supposed to be.
By the way, I saw a picture yesterday, you and Mark J. Casey at a post-fight barbecue with like you have the gut, but you obviously have the abs as well. It's like old school Chuck Liddell, where you have the abs, but also the big belly. Yes.
Yeah.
There's the picture. We're showing you right now. What was on the menu yesterday?
Honestly, I think Brad on everything. You know, it was a Brad Pickett barbecue. And then we had a cheesecake, which is called Please Cakes. And I kid you not, I think there was about 2 kilos of cheese that went into this cake. And man, me and Mark definitely made up for lost time. Yeah, I'm still feeling it today. And I've got about 5 other meals that people want to take me to. So, you know, it's a good job I moved up a weight.
That's true. That is true. By the way, what is a please cake? Is that a British thing? I've never heard of that before.
It's a cheesecake, but the brand's called Please Cakes.
Oh, okay.
And you look at them on Instagram, they do some unbelievable stuff, and it's just super, super over the top. You know, it's not just a cheesecake; it's a cheesecake with everything you can think of put on top.
Golly.
Very calorie dense.
Yes, but you've earned it. You might as well. And now you're a featherweight, and you've had a tough year. I mean, it was, you were probably eating. You eat your feelings sometimes in March. Now you get to eat your feelings when you're happy as well. Like back then, maybe you were sad eating the feelings. Now you're eating the feelings. You're happy. I say you earned it.
That was back in March. I didn't feel like I deserved anything because I hadn't got to do what I was supposed to do. You know, I know it wasn't my fault, but like, even, my missus took me out for dinner the next day, and I was like, oh, it just feels weird. It doesn't feel like should be doing this.
Yeah.
I don't feel like celebrating. But, again, it wasn't my fault, so there's nothing else I can do. But I do honestly believe that everything happens for a reason. And look now, I still got paid in March. I got to fight uninjured on this one, put on a performance at the new weight class. I think deep down it was all meant to be.
I saw on your Instagram, I love this, and correct me if I misread it, like that night, Saturday night, you're just like out walking your dog, right? Like a few hours prior, sold out O2 Arena, world is watching you, and then you're just back in the neighborhood walking your dog.
Yeah, no one could watch him, unfortunately. My neighbours popped in once, but someone had to get back for him. And, to be honest, there's nothing more I'd rather do than get home, have a nice cup of tea and see my boy. So, that was my post-fight celebration. Walk the dog, have a cup of tea and a bit of KFC.
How far do you live from the O2?
40 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, not so. The whole week I stayed at home. I get the luxury of staying in bed, and that's the perk of fighting at the O2.
And by the way, one last thing, Charles Rosa, what a guy, right? I mean, super tough. He took those leg kicks like a champ, never quit, very tough out. I feel like that also makes the performance, like it's very hard to put that guy away, and he has been through a lot in this sport, and I'm sure your respect for him has grown since the fight.
Huge. Going into that fight, I knew how tough he was because Brad had trained with him, my coach Ashley had trained with him, and I kind of knew it's going to be tough to put him out. And man, was it tough to put him out. I felt like even if I break this guy's leg, he's just going to keep getting up. And he was going because I said to him, I was like, man, we must have got a 50 Gs there. That must soften the blow a little bit. And the fact that we didn't, it kind of sucks just for him as well, man. That would have been a nice little, extra bit of money in our pockets. But, we put on a huge performance. And I'd like to think that, man, you got to respect the guy. Anyone that watched that fight, he's a warrior. And, he was going to the very last second. So, hats off to him.
Yeah, no one won fight of the night, right?
No, they done, I guess, 4 performance of the nights, man.
That's whack. That's whack.
I said to the missus, I went, babe, get the red panties out. I've secured the bag. I know for a fact we're getting that, we're getting that 50 Gs. This was just before the Tom Aspinall fight. Then obviously when he blew his knee, I thought, okay, that's not going to get fight of the night.
Right.
Yeah, they done performance of the nights, man. I was like, no. So, on the next one, on to the next one.
Well, great to see you back. Congratulations. Happy you found a new home at 45. And, it was great to have the London guy on the card. I don't know. Should we still call you the prospect? Are we sticking with that? I mean, until you realize, you're
30 next year. So let's have another year and then.
Right. We'll deal with it then. All right. Fair enough. Thank you for the time. Great to have you back on the show. Great to talk to you again, Nathaniel. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Thank you, Ariel.
All right. All the best. We'll talk to you soon. There he is. Nathaniel Wood, still the prospect, still under 30. So you can call him the prospect. He is turning Oh, he's turning 29 very soon in about 11 days, August 5th, 1993. Golly. Mohamed Mokaev with a bit of a joke there about my age. I've officially reached that point in my life. Gosh.